My name is Howard Onyuth, a 2020 Bat Conservation International Scholar. Uganda faces a high risk of infectious diseases originating from wildlife. Bats are considered reservoirs and have been associated with the spread of some of the deadliest zoonotic diseases such as rabies, Ebola, Marburg, and most recently COVID-19. Many bat species, however, are either vulnerable, near endangered, or endangered due to factors such as habitat loss, diminished food supply, diseases, and deliberate killing by humans. Like many villages in the rural parts of Uganda, communities in Kahendero, Katunguru, and Muhocha, next to Queen Elizabeth National Park, are coming into contact more regularly with bats.
My name is Nakato Lydia, head teacher Kahendero Primary School. And the problem I found in the place here was bats. In fact, they occupy all the rooms, and we find that when we close for a whole day, on returning back, the whole place is stinking.
Humans and bats share the same resources, and when they come into contact, conflict occurs. Bats shelter in walls, crevices, eaves, and roofs of households, schools, and health centers. Most of the houses in these communities are built without ceilings.
These bats have done a lot of damage. These roofs you see around are really leaking because of bats. When they urinate, the moisture from the urine affects the iron sheath. So in the long run, they rust, then they start leaking.
Now, take a minute and imagine. Students in a classroom trying to learn while bats urinate and defecate on their heads, books, and all over the floor. That expectant mother who goes to the nearest health facility for a medical checkup but leaves sicker than she came in. Or that hardworking family trying to rest in their house after a long day of work or school but cannot due to the unbearable stench of urine and guano of bats all over the house. Sadly, that is the reality of many in these communities.
I'm called Kachanchu Mulindwa Ivan, chairperson, LC2 Katunguru Parish, Lekatu Sub-County in Kasese district. The poo and the urine from the bats, it has also been a problem because we have people with allergies. When they tend to smell the other stuff from urine and the poo from the bats, those people, they don't feel well.
Whenever I enter that room, I get choked. I feel uncomfortable with my breathing. I just feel really uncomfortable. The thing smells bad.
All these, coupled with a lack of proper medical care, high poverty levels, fear of life-threatening infections, house destruction, littering, discomfort, superstition, bats considered a bad omen, and ignorance on the importance of bats leads to retaliatory killing.
Mwaka gw'2016 bwali mu ddwaliro Kahendero Health Center 2 twagezaako okubufuuyira, twagula eddagala erya diazone ne tubufuuyira, twatta obuwundu nga 15 bwafa ku olwo.
Earlier this year, over 5,000 bats were killed using chemical fumigants, nets, fire, and sticks, but reinversion has already occurred. The use of chemical bat repellants has been found ineffective, oncogenic, short-lived, and indiscriminately kills bats and other non-target species.
So we used very many methods. One, fire. We fumigated. I don't remember the medicine we used. even killing using stones and sticks, but bats were a problem. And after they have renovated, they are still there. Even there is one staff quarter, it was abandoned because of bats, and they are still there right now as I'm telling you. So it is a problem.
It was obvious we needed to find a solution. One that puts local communities and bats at the center of our study. We employed an integrative, conservation-oriented One Health approach aimed at conserving bats and preserving human health. These involved sensitizing communities on the ecological, economic, and public health importance of bats, formulating and implementing a safe, ecosystem-friendly ethno-bat repellent, and construction of bat roosts. Focus group discussions and interviews with 180 community members, village health teams, opinion leaders, key informants, and faith leaders led to the design of community-specific bat management plan consisting of bat conservation education, health education, infection prevention, control, and response strategies. A safe, ecosystem-friendly ethno-bat repellent using locally available plant materials was formulated. This was mainly composed of locally brewed alcohol, commonly known as kasese, mixed with a few other plant materials such as cinnamon, eucalyptus, and lim leaves in the right proportions and heated at varying temperatures. For a solvent, paint was used. A case-controlled field experiment was then conducted, with some houses painted and others not. It was observed bats immediately fled from the painted houses and went to the unpainted houses. The reinvasion period was reported by the community to be 6 months. Our next step was to assess the possibility of bats inhabiting environmentally friendly bat roosts. We then embarked on constructing bat houses using guidelines on the Bat Conservation International website. Our initial aim was to construct 96 bat houses, that is 36 per village. However, due to logistical challenges, we constructed 3 for demonstration purposes. The resident carpenter in each of these villages was trained to build bat houses on a need basis for the rest of the community. By the end of the project, over 50 people had pledged to build these bat houses next to their homes. Our project demonstrated the complexity of human-bat conflict. I believe this can be mitigated when 1. Communities are engaged and put at the center of an intervention, and 2. Conservation benefits are demonstrated. Bats and humans can coexist, turning this tragedy into a resource. By the end of the project, the ethno-bat repellent was being produced and bat paint repulsion services was being offered to families in these and neighboring communities. Resident carpenters included bat houses as a product in their furniture stores. Community groups were also planning to engage relevant stakeholders to set up community-driven bat conservation tourism trails. So I asked myself, what if there is a way of developing this ethno-bat repellent in a controlled environment, let's say a laboratory, and carrying out various experiments to see how it would work? What if there is a way to prevent the next pandemic or community bat-associated diseases by just painting our homes? What would the possibilities be? What would the future hold?
Howard Onyeth has taught us, we've learned how to make this drug, I think. I hope it will help us.
Thank you for your knowledge that you have passed on to us, and we pray that we continue assisting very many communities in different aspects of their lives.
I thank the team from Makerere University because we are ready. We are going to inform our community, mobilize them to make sure that they construct such houses for bats.
This project was made possible by the generous contribution of Bat Conservation International and support from Makerere University, Department of Wildlife and Aquatic Animal Resources at the College of Veterinary Medicine, Animal Resources and Biosecurity.